Hello, I'm Debbie from Australia and I'm here today with my February 2021 cross stitch update, and I hope this video finds you well. February was not a great stitchy month for me this month, but I did get a lot done on projects. I had 2 starts, 3 finishes, and in total worked on 14 different projects. I will start with my finishes for the month. The first one is just a little one. It was actually a start and a finish, and it is from the Praiseworthy Stitches Flowers of the Month that were in the August 2020 Cross Stitcher magazine. I needed this for a prompt for Down Under Divas because I had to stitch on tulips. So you can see that I've pulled the thread to divide the fabric up to ensure I've got enough there for all the months. And there's plenty on the side there for all the months, and I'll just stitch those as and when I need them. As for the prompts, this one was to stitch on tulips. And it was done start and finish in one day. I think I did it at lunchtime. Quick little start. Didn't take long on the 28 count fabric. 28 count? Nope, 32 count fabric with core force threads. My next finish was part 6 of the Magical Mystery Tour from Blackbird Designs, The Long and Winding Road. It is a cute pattern. I must admit, it took me a little while to work out where the eyelets were, but finally realised they were in the middle of the tails of the 2 peacocks. So I did work it out in the end. I stitched mine on 40 count granite from Zweigart, I believe. Called for colours. Quite a pretty little stitch. I only have 2 more in this series to go, and that is Octopus's Garden and Yellow Submarine, and that's the before and after. Lots of little bits and pieces, but it turns out really lovely in the end. My next finish was a bit of a surprise, but I was sort of edged on by my mother to finish Bellatrix to enter in the local show that was on last weekend. We were very lucky. My family came down from Canberra and we went on Saturday, luckily, because Sunday it was a total washout and they had to abandon it. But my mum wanted this one desperately to be put in. So I did put a rush on it. And she did get a lot of comments on Instagram. And I did get her finished and framed in time to go to the show. And they're very pretty. That's all she was. My mum was very annoyed because she wanted the pretty lady to win. Now, pretty lady's probably not going to show up too well this close to the camera. She has got over 2,000. Look at all the beads in the corners. Over 2,044 beads. The cat's got a beautiful collar. There's beads all through her dress, all through the book stand. Lectern, sorry. Her earring is beautiful. Her staff, all through the window, which I didn't expect again. The corners, and then you can see all the beads there. This is 28 count. 28 count. Stormy Skies from Sew It All in Australia. A beautiful fabric that I knew she had to be on the minute. I'll just leave it there. The minute I actually got my hands on the pattern. This was part of the Bellatrix birthday sale for Juliet, the Colorado girl in a Kansas City world. Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, good grief. For her birthday, I started on the 29th of the 1st, 21, and finished it on the 27th of the 2nd, 22. And that is more her real colours. She's beautiful. She'll probably take, I'm going to go up here, up here. You can't see it at the moment, but last year's winner at the show is sitting up there, but I think Bellatrix is going to have to take her place there. I'll show you a before and after the show just how much I did get done in February. I had all the work up in the corner, her staff and the magic in her hand to do basically, and all the beads. And there was a few late nights there, but I did get it done in time for the show, which made my mum happy. For the local show, I entered 4 pieces. I entered Bellatrix. I entered Crossword from Long Dog Samplers. I entered Sarah Hanley 1847 from Mojo Stitches. And I also entered Bushland Quaker from Mojo Stitches to get a bit of variety. You've seen Bellatrix. This is Crossword. It is done on 40 count, you can't see it, opal white fabric. I washed this and the DMC 117 ran everywhere, but I did even iron it. I ironed it. It looked fine, but then obviously there wasn't enough fluid water to wash the excess away, and when it dried I had orange all around the outside and I nearly cried. I was quite dumbfounded actually. I just sat in the chair and did nothing because I didn't know what to do. I'd already registered, and this year was the first year you actually had to name the pieces that were going to go in. So in the end I got up, threw it in a bucket with a whole heap of Softly, which is in Australia is a wool wash, scrunched it up, bashed it around, and luckily it all came out. I checked it before I went to bed about 2 and noticed the water was really yucky. Pulled it out and saw all the excess dye had ran away. So I spun it in the washing machine, I ironed it dry, I got the hair dry and finished drying it, and then I framed it. So, because it was, of course, the next day was registration. That is my personalisation that I did. Darth Vader, where are you? Darth Vader for my son-in-law, Belle for my daughter. Their initials. And in very, very tiny print, it does have their wedding date. They love it, and they'll finally be able to get their hands on it. It didn't win a prize, but it's still beautiful. Still beautiful, and they're happy with it, which is the main thing. Bushland Quaker, beautiful, beautiful Quaker. I love these ones. This series that Joe has been doing. I put this one in, and it came home with a second place. Absolutely beautiful, done on lemon butter from Jay's X Stitch. but Joe's pattern was a winner. And the other one I put in, come back over there, the other one I put in was Sarah Hanley, also by Joe from Mojo Stitches. Lots of violets. Lots and lots of violets. Beautiful chili border. Beautiful, I think, a mission house. Sarah Hanley, 1849. When she came home with the first prize. So I was happy with that. My mum was not. She wanted Bellatrix to win. She didn't care. But I got a first and a second in the grouping I was in. She just wanted the lady to win. Obviously someone heard, because when I came to pick it up, they made mention that she is beautiful and everyone loved her, but the others were more technically correct. And I said, look, it's not me. I have got a very poor picture. Nope, they're mine. Very poor picture of the champion piece, and it's this beautiful piece of black work. I couldn't get a better photo because of the glass that was in there, and of course you're not allowed to touch them to angle it or anything. Absolutely beautiful, delicate work, and it really did deserve the champion ribbon. Next, whips. I touch most of my whips most months, so I hope you're not going to get bored. There's a few more getting added next month, so it might give you a bit more variety. This is A Stitch in Time by Aimee Stewart. I am doing this on 32 count, 1/1 full cross. And I just love it. I love it. I can't believe how lovely it all shows up. You know, you think it's just a blob, and then look, you can almost see her eyes and her face in the shadow, and the charting's beautiful. I've only got the pink flowers to go in that piece, and I just ran out of time, but I'll be back on the books for a while soon. But she's lovely. This is currently 10.52%, so I've got a fair bit more to go. I have done 75,003 stitches out of 713, 286 were acquired. And the before and after for this month shows the difference of filling in all those confetti stitches. Just changes it completely. It's just amazing. Next whip is, no, you don't want that yet, Anzak Long Dog Samplers. This has been fantastic for Down Under Divas because we are taking a trip around Australia. This project, I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm finished it. I'm looking at the microphone peak as I speak. I hope I am not too loud. This is my second time because I had said the settings wrong and my last video had no sound whatsoever. Anyway, Anzak, it has worked a treat for these challenges, and I have got a lot done. I haven't got that much really to go. This is being done on 40 count fabric linen that I have dyed with two colours called Peacock and Bottle Green. And I am using a thread from Dinky Dyes called Camo, which I thought was appropriate. I have put my initials in there. And boats and sheeps and possums and birds and spiders, and I've got the 20, and hopefully that's going to be a 2, and at the rate I'm going I think this might be a 2022 finish. And now the before and after, and you can see just how much I managed to get done. I really did get a fair bit done this month. B by Laine, charted by Gecko Rouge, inspired by Kelly from Animal Instinct. Loved it the minute I saw it. Oh, wrong part. This one has 21,845 stitches out of 65,116. Sits at 33.55%. Being done on 20 count white Aida. I started it on the 16th of April 2020. It's due to get a fair few stitches in this month. That's why I had to get the video done. One that before and after. I've had to widen it because with the Divas I had to do 2,000 in yellow, so I had to move the Q snaps, so the photos will be getting bigger from now. I think it's probably going to get another 2,000 this month as well. The next project I'm only going to show a picture of is Botany Bay sampler from Fox and Rabbit Designs. This is my first real sampler. The reason I'm only putting the photo in is because I've done a lot of work on it this month. You'll see that those are ships this month, and it's all freehand, and it was a learning process, and it's as good as it's going to get. And it is being done on 36 count legacy linen from Picture This Plus, and I started on the 16th of the 12th 19, and I'm probably now, where I currently stand, I'm probably 50%. Next whip, Garden Party by Mirabilia. Beautiful. Got a lot of work done on her last month, February. I was worried about the oranges on this fabric, but they've turned out really well. They really just stand out beautifully. They both have their hair now. All I've got are the lanterns on the other side, and then work out what I'm going to put in the girls' hands. There is currently a bird that one is not interested in dealing with. I may find a needle minder that may be appropriate that can stay on there. I haven't worked that out yet. But it's only a whole heap of lanterns and then a whole heap of beads. The charting in the dresses is beautiful. It is really beautiful. I think there could be some backstitch in there in the blue one that I might not have done yet. Is there some backstitch in the blue one? Yes. Very poor of me. I usually do all the backstitch as I go along. Getting old and forgetful. So there's a bit of backstitching to do as well in the blue dress. I don't think there's any backstitching in the roses. You can just see the roses on that dress. It's lovely. That is being done on 18 count Aida on Dragon Queen. Again, This is a fabric from Colour Cascades in Australia. I knew when I saw it that this pattern was supposed to be done on, in my opinion. It had to be done on. I started this one in March 2020. Not long to go. As you can see, they both got their hair now. One side of the lanterns are done, so it's only the lantern one dress back stitching and lots of beads to go. Next project is mini bouquets from Jeanette Douglas. This is a free sale. Absolutely beautiful. I finally got the colours to put the middle border in. I thought I had ordered them and obviously I had not. But now I only have to do the monthly bouquets because all the borders are done. The white border was done as part of Down Under Divas. Now the 3 internal borders are done, so I only have to monthly get the bouquets done. This is being done on 40 count country Mocha, and I started on the 3rd of January 2022. Next whip, sampler stitches. I'm doing this with Stitching Mummy and a whole lot of other people around the world. I'm doing it in one piece like that. And in February I dealt with D, E and F, and I hated D, E and F because a couple of the how-tos in the back were over a different amount of stitches that was required on the front. Like this very first line, I still can't get it right. This first line here, the sample was over 2 more stitches, so when I got down to the bottom, everything was off by 2 stitches. I was going to throw everything off, so I had to unpull all of that. The eggplant I had to unpull twice. I'm hoping that's it. That's the last one, because ABC was really lovely, but DEF gave me a bit of grief. This is being done on 28 count ice blue linen from Zweigart. It has turned out all right. It's D. Come on, focus. There is a dragonfly charm to be put on there yet. All these weird and wonderful stitches I have never heard of. They're very fancy and they are enjoyable. I now look at the how-to, but then I go back to the pattern for placement. I don't just trust that I've got it right. This is done. This is by the Drawn Thread, and this month I will be doing G, H and I, and hopefully not half as much problem as I had with DEF. My next whip is Templar Prophecy. I've got a fair bit to do on this one. I don't have percentages for this one. I haven't got this one in Pattern Keeper. I got a fair bit done this month, mostly on the black work dragon. This is being done on 40 count white linen. It was my New Year, New Start for 2020. I let it sit for a while because I was a bit disappointed, because believe it or not, this grey up here and the grey in the horse are the same. It was the dye changes. Apparently a lot of the grey dye changes were quite dramatic with DMC, where they couldn't get components anymore. So instead of having 3 greys, I've sort of ended up having 4 greys and a bit variegated, which wasn't quite what I was planning for. But there is my before and after. I think I persevered until I got the actual dragon sort of open work done. My last whip is the Long Dog Sampler. You Belong to Me. I fell in love with this the minute I saw it. Bought it, started it, stitched a fair bit, restarted it, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is being done on 38 count Days Gone By from Silkweavers, using PR070 from Silks for You, which is black silk. I started on the 21st of November 2021, and it is very difficult not to just sit and stitch this all day. I truly this one just screams at me. I love it. I love it. And even when I did, you all know the story, there's a fair whack of it. The first run, where a couple of rows going, I just didn't even give it a second thought. I simply just turned it around and started stitching on the other end. I'm pretty sure I won't run into it. It might be in the lacing process, but that doesn't matter. But I just love it. It is beautiful. I got a fair bit done this month. This is 25.76% completed. I've done 10,805 stitches out of 41,947. And oh, I got something popping up. There we go. There's the before and after. You can see I got a fair bit done. A fair bit done. That's my whips for last month. All bar one, which is a family piece. I'm working on at lunchtimes if I'm staying at work. And stitching, they have an opportunity of seeing it, so I won't be holding it up. I will show one other piece I did frame when I had the disaster, or what I thought was a disaster with crossword. I got this, the Play Doctor by Punk Poodle Patterns out, framed up, ready to go, just in case I couldn't get that die out. This one will still be eligible to go in next year. He is beautiful. He is beautiful. I loved him the minute I saw Michelle working on him. I'm very happy with the frame. He's ready to go. We'll see. He might even get a trip to the show next year. He's a very, very elegant Plague Doctor. That's from Punk Poodle Patterns. Next, I got some beautiful, outrageous Stitchy Kindness. From Kelly down at Animal Instinct in Australia. She had started this mermaid and decided she didn't want to stitch it after all. This is the Queen Mermaid. I believe it's out of print. Not only did she send me the pattern, she sent me the beads, the treasures and the chronic, which is so over the top. I can't believe how kind she was, and all she would say is consider it an early birthday present, which is so extravagant. But I look forward to doing her, and I may have received some fabric yesterday that I'd be very interested to see if she'll go on. I got a few other threads aside from my monthly threads. Mojo, Jo at Mojo Stitches, she has a lovely collection. Oh, what's going with that camera? Here we go. Some lovely threads from Cottage Garden threads. She threw in those 2 blue ones for me, which are gorgeous. They are just gorgeous threads. And that one is, it's funny, it must be the colour, because that is absolutely, it is that royal purple. There we go. I think it's because it's got the crimson underlay. That is the Ripsari ribbon, which is beautiful. And I got this really cute bee thread ring with more sari ribbons hanging off it. It's lovely. It's just beautiful. So if you want to look at these, they are truly lovely threads. And the packaging turns into a thread drop itself. It is just lovely. They are lovely threads. They are nice to work with. I have worked on them before. It's well worth checking them out. Just lovely. I got some fabrics from Colour Cascades. These were ready to dye, ready dyed, ready to go. This one is called Gold Dust. It is 40 count. And I really love it. It's a really nice mottledy piece. The jade is not going to show up. Oh, no, it's greener than that. I tried whites. I've tried lots of things the first time I did the video. No, it's going to show blue, but it is more a jade, and that is what it's called. It is called jade. It's not going to. It's going to show a beautiful blue, but it's got a lot more green in it than what it is actually showing. No, it's blue. It's going to show blue, but it's a beautiful, beautiful greeny jade. It is a 36 count. It's a 36 count. And it's lovely. Then I've got the last things I've got. No, they're not. Before I get to those, I did do some Ukraine shopping for patterns. These are ones, the first lot I got from Cross Stitch Pictorial. I got Easter Bunny gnomes, and they're just so cute. So cute. Stitchy Princess. I got Easter. I think that's a beautiful pattern, and I'm half thinking or trying to work out whether I can get that done in time for Easter, and it may even go on that gold dust fabric. I'll have to do the floss toss to check it out. Another one from Cross Stitch Pictorial. This is called Magic Halloween, and I just love that cat. And the flurry of leaves and bats and the skull, it's just so cute. It's so cute. From LKA Cross Stitch, this is Space Adventures. I've got 2 little boys that would just love most of those little motifs on some cross stitch. They love outer space like all little boys do. Again, Cross Stitch Pictorial, Happy St. Patrick's Day. These are St. Pat's gnomes. I usually don't celebrate St. Pat's because it's my brother's birthday, but you can't help yourself with the little green gnomes. From Awesome Pattern Studio, this is Sydney. I got this one especially. I was just lucky it was from a Ukraine seller. I needed a piece for down under Divas that either had the Opera House or the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I may do them on, I may do it true to colour. I haven't decided yet, but that's one of the 5 starts I've got this month, and they're all starting next month. And the last one I got was from my Stitch shop. Everyone says I don't have to say what I think, that my face gives me away, and I'd love to have that done and up at work, because I don't think there's one person that would disagree on it. So they were the patterns that I got as PDF downloads, so the ladies or the shop owners didn't have to deal with postage or anything, and hopefully, you know, the small amount of funds that went to their account will help them during these terrible times. Lastly, I have got my monthly threads from A Stitch in Time down in Hobart. This is Gentle Arts, Harvest Moon, Hibiscus, Highland Heather, Hollyberry, Honeydew, and Huckleberry. It just went blurry just as I went to read them. Sort of muted brights, if that's such a thing. A little bit brighter lot from Classic Colourworks. We've got Fallen Leaves, Fancy Green Nancy, Finley Gold, Fleur de Lilac, Fool's Gold, and Four Leaf Clover. Fool's Gold's rather nice with the silver and grey through it. Weeks Dye Works. We've got Deep Sea, Desert, Dirt Road, Dolphin, Dove, and Dried Sage. A bit glary, there we go. And from the Australian threads, I get the silks from Colour Streamers. That is the photograph that they used as inspiration for the colours this month. I love how they do that. We have got, aren't they gorgeous? We've got Fuchsia, Jacaranda, Noosa Sands, Ocean Blue, and Seascape. Yes, it is Ocean Blue. Aren't they just beautiful? Beautiful, the silks. And the freebie is called Scrim. It is like colourful netting. You know, down the bottom of a frame when you've got a mermaid you're working on. Give it a bit of texture. It is really... I wasn't going to... Yes, I can open it. I'll pull it away from the mic. I'll get it out and show you. Oh, wow. It is multicoloured netting that you could use for texture. And it's called Scrim, C-S-C-R-I-M, and it's beautiful. I'm not sure what I'll use it for, but don't you worry, I'll find something. Might take a while, but it is just lovely. That is basically my video tonight. It probably even went faster than it did last time, because I knew what I was going to say to a certain degree, and I can tell by the monitor that it is actually recording sounds. Stats for this month. I started with 18 whips this year. I have had 5 starts, 5 finishes, so I'm still sitting on 18, which is not too bad. I do hope this video finds you well. Those in Australia, some coping with the floods. I'm thinking of you. There's not much. I don't know what to say. Where I am, sort of middle of New South Wales, our river's only broke recently, but nothing like there, and it's got a long way to go before it would get anywhere near. And it's a river out near work. It has got a floodplain, so we've got quite a large land mass before it would actually make a big mess. I just wish you well, and just hope this rain settles down. Those overseas with the war, I hope you can stay safe. That's all I can do, is just send wishes, good thoughts, and hope it's over. Hope they come to their senses and just stop it. And with COVID, we've apparently, New South Wales has had another outbreak, and they're a bit concerned it's going to jump again. I think it's just going to be a part of everyday life from now on. So, like I said, the younger, well, I don't know if I said it in this video, 4 in our office, 1 came down with it. The other 3 of us have had a week's worth of rapid antigen testing, as well as a full PCR testing earlier in the week, and thankfully we're all still negative. So we have been extremely lucky. But I do hope everyone is well and as safe as can be in these troubled times, and I will hopefully see you next month. Take care, and happy stitching.